Transformations. I can identify the effects of transformations on graphs of functions. So, parent function, it's the simplest of graphs for a function. So, for instance, a linear parent function is y equals x. And that's going to be a straight line that goes across the origin and has a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. Quadratic. That's y equals x squared. And we know a quadratic forms a parabola. It's going to look like that. It's actually going to start at 0, 0, but the graph doesn't look like that. Cubic. Cubic is to the third power. And it looks like that. Once again, goes across the origin. The y-intercept is across the origin. Root. That means we're taking the square root of x. Once again, we start at 0, 0. And it goes off like that, like a Nike swoosh. So absolute value. So we've talked about absolute values a lot. They form a V on the graph. So transformations. F of x plus k means that it moves up and down. That means that's the outside of the function. We're adding a number outside of the function. So for instance, y equals x squared plus 3. That means we're going to take the x squared graph and move it up 3. And then we have the transformation. Now, if it's within the parentheses, we're moving left and right. So let's try this. Y equals parentheses x plus 3 squared. That means I actually move it opposite. So since it's plus, I move it left. And it moves over like that. So within the parentheses, it's left and right, and it's opposite. Outside the parentheses, it's up and down. So let's do a cubic function. So y equals x to the third plus 3. So that means my swoosh thing is going to start at 3 instead of 0. So we just moved it up 3. So here's your parent function. Moved it up on my y-intercept 3. So once again, it's to the third, so our parent function is going to be cubic. And because it's plus 3 here, it's opposite, it's in the parentheses, so it actually goes left 3. You can figure all this out by using Desmos as well, but this is really good to know. So this is a parabola because it's a squared function. It's minus 2 in the parentheses, so that means I move it right 2. So here's an absolute value. Remember that forms a V. And because the plus 2 is on the outside of the sign, that means we move it up 2. So here's your root function. The plus 2 is inside the sign, that means I'm going to do the opposite and move it left 2. And that's transformations.